Hey, Kois, and a big warm welcome to our new viewers splashing in for the first time. It's your favorite ocean duo, Otto and Kailani with me, back with another reaction video.
Today we're looking into something delicious, or maybe disastrous. We're reacting to I Investigated Gordon Ramsay's Meal Kit by Zackary Smigel, and honestly, Kois, we need to know. Is it gourmet greatness or chaotic kitchen energy?
Yeah. We're talking celebrity chef expectations, mystery meals, and whether Gordon Ramsay's kit is actually worth the hype, or just even his recipes. Well, anyway, we're about to find out all that together.
And if you want to hang out with us live, come join the stream over on twitch.tv/AutoWhale. We play games, react to videos, and have tons of cozy ocean vibes.
And if you want more videos like this, you can check out our main channel at youtube.com/auto_Kailani. Lots of adventures, indie horror checkouts, and well, some big whale energy waiting for you. All right, Kois, let's dive in. So this should be a fun one, and I'll just get this going. Let me know if the audio levels are good, by the way.
So I've been creating videos on this channel for a while now.
I've got it at about like
It's
50%.
going great, but we've got a serious problem.
Hopefully
The
you can
amount
hear.
of comments I get about my cooking skills is out of control. This guy cannot cook. Bro, you just don't know how to cook.
Okay.
This
Okay, got you.
man has the
How's
cooking
that?
skills of a 19-year-old. You're a horrible cook.
How's
Stop
that?
complaining and learn how to cook. This guy should go to cooking school. Wow, you do not know how to cook. LOL. Well, today, all that changes.
More? Okay.
With the help of one man, Gordon James Ramsay.
Okay,
If you don't know
how's
who Gordon
that?
Ramsay is, he's essentially the Tiger Woods of celebrity chefs. Maybe not the best chef of all time, but arguably the most recognizable. 17 Michelin stars over the
How's
course
this?
of his career, hit TV shows across multiple countries, a personality that launched 1,000 memes, and a global restaurant
I turned it up
empire.
on the
guy
stream
turned
side,
yelling
too.
into an international business. And
Max it real quick. I don't think I can max it because I can, like, it's really loud.
to his credit, he's embraced every bit of it. Not every chef reaches this level of stardom. Where's Emerald at?
Is this
Where's
good?
Chef Boyardee? Making canned soup? What schmucks? The point is, there are not many chefs
That's a
that
lot
have
better.
this level of cultural significance.
Okay.
And I generally don't have anything negative to say
I'm going to turn my mic
Gordon
up, too.
Yet. On September 15th, 2025, Gordon Ramsay launched his own line of meal kits in partnership with Home Chef, a meal kit and pre-made delivery service owned by Kroger. The pitch
One thing I've noticed, I think, is on my streams, I gotta figure out the audio levels. I've watched some of my VODs, and I feel like I'm quiet. I feel like I'm slightly quiet.
is simple. Learn to cook like Gordon
So
Ramsay from your own
I'll bump the
kitchen.
microphone
Home
up
Chef
more.
is a corporate juggernaut, partnering with Dolly Parton, Aisha Curry, and even Minecraft. Yes, seriously. And customers see
There's mine. Wait. We missed that. Minecraft. In my opinion, you are fine. Thank you. I need the help to know if the audio levels are good. And I check VODs, and it sometimes feels quiet, but Villagers Reefs. I can't even read it. I can't even read it. Some beef shepherd's pie. It's a shepherd's pie. I put my Twitch audio on half, and you are quite loud. Oh, me. I'm quite loud. I can turn it back down a little bit. There we go. I turned myself back down a little bit again. There we go. What does this say? Crafters barbecue turkey meatloaf. I've never had shepherd's pie before. That looks pretty solid. Chicken BLT sandwich. What is this? Mushroom Fields beef burger. These are all just like, okay.
seriously, and customers seem into it.
I was like,
Home
these are
Chef
just like
reportedly
burgers.
generates
It's just a
over
bunch of
$1
burgers and
billion
sandwiches.
a year in sales, which honestly surprises
Whoa.
me. If you spend any time on the internet, you know these things are controversial. Meal kits like HelloFresh, Blue Apron, Green Chef, Sunbasket, and Factor have
By the way, I've gotten Sunbasket before. Do not recommend going for Sunbasket. Don't. It wasn't good at all.
a bit of a reputation. Search Factor on YouTube and the first thing that pops up is a lineup of videos titled Everything Wrong with Factor. People love hating on these things. They say they're overpriced, the produce arrives limp, and they rely on heavy discounts to hook you in before jacking up the price.
Okay, I can say that they are. I think they're I think they are overpriced. I think that's fair. And I don't know about the ingredients though. I haven't had any trouble with meal kit ingredients from HelloFresh in my experience. If I eat it like within a week, it's usually fine. I do think they're overpriced though. Per serving, it feels like it's $15 per serving. So if I get 2 meals and each one is 2 servings, it equates to about $60. That's about right. I think that's usually what it is. It's like $15 a serving. So it's essentially the same price as me going to Chili's and eating at Chili's. So like you have to sort of debate and go, okay, well, and also like I could go to a ramen place. There's an udon place at a mall near me that's really good and is also about that price. So HelloFresh specifically competes in a way with like restaurants, and like in that way it is overpriced. I would much rather go have udon at the mall than maybe even my own cooking. So, well, I'll let it keep going. But I do think the meal kits are good for like building a little bit of confidence to learn how to cook, and then
by all accounts,
and like getting recipes.
Ordering these boxes seems too good to be true, right? Well, with the reported sales and the amount of money these companies spend on advertising, something is clearly working. For a lot of people, the convenience, the doorstep delivery, and the teach me how to cook without actually teaching me factor is worth it. So when I saw Gordon Ramsay partner with Home Chef, I figured if I can learn to cook like Gordon Ramsay, test one of the biggest meal kit companies in the world, and prove Terry Jones 2330 wrong, that's a win-win-win.
Meal kits are good for busy
here's
people.
The plan. I'll be cooking and eating.
Kind of. Yeah, I would say yeah, kind of. If you know what you're cooking, though, you're better off just buying all the groceries for it. Like, if you know what you're cooking. Obviously. But I will tell you that, like, there were times, especially, like, over a year ago, when I first started getting the HelloFresh kits, which was, like, several years ago. And I wasn't consistent in game. I stopped HelloFresh for a while. I only got back into it about a year ago. Like, I was so busy, I just couldn't shop. I just couldn't shop. I was like, okay, I can't shop for groceries right now. This is a good option to cook a couple meals and hope for the best.
Eating 15 meals from Home Chef. 10 of those meals will be Gordon Ramsay meals, and 5 will be from the regular Home Chef menu. How do they compare? Is this stuff worth the money? Can a normal guy learn to cook 5-star meals from home? And of course, are meal kits legit or just a glorified box of disappointment? When I signed up, Home Chef asked me a bunch of questions about my food profile. What kind of foods I like, what I want to avoid, allergies, all that. I clicked through most of it because all I cared about was getting the Gordon Ramsay meals. It asked how many meals a week I wanted, and I picked the max because I wanted to try as
every day is so expensive. Holy shit. I do 1 to 2. Every day is going to be insane. Why cook a meal when you can get a made cooked meal? That's true. We should get
many Gordon Ramsay meals as possible. My total came to $78.88 for 6 meals.
Well, hold on. It said, look what it said.
Possible. My total.
It said 50% off. So actually, it's not that. I get 16 a week. That's so much. That's a lot, though. It's not 70. It's not. It's like 160. It's gonna bump out to like 155, something like that.
Came to $78.88 for 6 meals.
Plus ship, yeah.
I couldn't look at the specific meal prices until after I paid, which feels wrong to me. Like, imagine walking into a restaurant and they just charge your card before showing you a menu. I bit the bullet, and once I paid to see the menu, I went to select my meals and ran into my first of many problems. So I'd used the official Gordon Ramsay link from an Instagram ad that took me to the sales page that very heavily implied I was signing up specifically for Gordon Ramsay's meals. That's the whole point we're here, right? Well, after I paid, none of the meals they auto-selected were his. Not one. I'm dead serious. Even though his face was plastered on the login screen, not a single Gordon Ramsay recipe was selected by default, which I don't really get. Thankfully, you can go in and manually edit your order, but that's when I started hitting more friction. Home Chef only releases 2 Gordon Ramsay meals per week, meaning you can't actually try all of Gordon Ramsay's recipes without subscribing for months.
That's so frustrating. I would rather go shopping than spend 12 hours meal prepping. Mr. Boyfriend gets made cooked meals for free. So lucky. I would. Well, my diet is just different right now. To be fair, right? So like, it's for me, it's different. Like most of my meals are very basic outside of the HelloFresh ones. They're super basic. So to me, it's like, I don't know. Probably don't have the best opinion, but if I knew how to cook, like, and I knew all the ingredients ahead of time, I would shop. I would shop for everything. It's just, it economically makes sense.
Which is kind of insane, but it gets better. The $70.88 I paid upfront was for 6 default meals. The moment I swapped those out for Gordon's meals, the total climbed fast. On some weeks, his dishes ranged from $13 to $20 per meal. So no joke, some of the items featured in the ads cost more than everything else. Between the vague sign-up flow, the rotating menu, and the surprise upcharge for ordering the meals that I actually wanted, the whole thing felt very overly complicated and even a bit misleading. But we're committed, and now all we do is wait.
We're committed.
After waiting about 2 weeks, it was finally time to see what Home Chef and Gordon Ramsay had in store for me. The first box had 3 meals inside, along with a binder where I could store my exclusive Home Chef recipe cards. These recipe cards break down the difficulty level, the spice level, the prep and cook time, and they even include a QR code where you can find the recipe online.
How convenient.
I've got all these goodies inside. I've got some bok choy, straight from the source, wherever that is. What's the deal with bok choy?
That's not bok choy, by the way, but I think the bok choy is in there. What is going on with these green onions? What's going on with these green onions?
Boy, I don't really know.
What is this? What the fuck is happening with these green onions? That's what my meal prep looks like? That's insane. That's not what mine looks like at all. The green onions ain't doing that.
When's the last time you bought a bok choy?
This is insane. I can't. Wow. Wow.
Leave a comment down below. Bok choy, what's the deal with it? Is this the bok choy? I don't even think this is bok choy.
Oh yeah, he doesn't know that's not the bok choy.
Why didn't you tell me it was a bok choy? This is bok choy, by the way.
That bok choy looks fine.
If you didn't know.
Very little green onion too. That's normal for these guys. So that is normal, by the way. That amount of green onion, like 2 or 3, that's normal. It is not. It's not much at all.
This is bok choy. These are green onions. Let's cook this up.
Despite its difficulty
terrible.
rating, this seemed pretty straightforward. First step was to just prepare the ingredients by chopping everything up, bok choy, green onions, and then of course crushing the peanuts in a slightly provocative manner.
I have to be at school an hour earlier than I expected.
After that,
oh no!
I had to make Gordon Ramsay's special sauce, which was just soy sauce and some ball. Not too mysterious.
Yeah,
Next up was prepping the steak. The steak actually looked like great quality. When it came time to cook, I tossed the veggies into a non-stick pan and let them sizzle for about 5 minutes. Then I threw the steak onto my cast iron skillet and cooked that for about 5 minutes, adding in that soy sauce mixture. And then it was rice time. This was super easy. They just wanted me to massage the rice and then throw it into the veggie pan, along with some of that Gordon Ramsay sauce, some vinegar, and of course ginger. This was honestly super easy to make, and in no time, it was time to plate.
To be honest, that doesn't look that bad.
Well, how was it? Honestly, I was somewhat impressed. The food was pretty good. The flavors were pretty impactful, different and dynamic all at the same time. The portion size was pretty generous.
It looks good. Yeah, it looks good. I mean, like, the thing is, these meal kits, like, the food looks pretty good when you make it.
Generous.
It looks good.
The question is, though, would I pay for it every week? That, I don't really know. All right, it is time for meal number 2.
What do we
However,
got?
there's a little bit of a problem. They didn't send me the correct recipe card. They sent me the coconut lime petite scallops page, and that's not at all what I want. This is not an official Gordon Ramsay meal.
The bag of ingredients is what my meal prep looks like because I just prepare everything and freeze in bags.
No ratings for it. No one's rated it, so I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. So rest assured, I'll be the first person to give this meal a rating along with all the other meals that I'll be eating in this video. Let's get cooking.
Alright, so this is romesco chicken with wilted kale and potatoes. This was one of the famous Gordon Ramsay recipes plastered all over the advertisements. I started by chopping up the potatoes and placing them into a baking sheet with a generous amount of olive oil, and then adding this small packet of potato spice seasoning that they provided. After I massaged the potatoes like they just got home from a long day at the office, and then I popped them in the oven to cook for about 30 minutes. Interestingly, Gordon wanted to season the chicken with just salt and pepper, which I think is a bit basic, but hey, I'm going to trust him here.
Crispy.
He does have 17 Michelin stars, right?
24/7.
From here, I needed to add the chicken to a hot pan and cook undisturbed for about 4 to 6 minutes. While the chicken and potatoes cooked, I stemmed the kale, then had to flip the chicken and transfer the pan to a hot oven and roast for 6 to 8 minutes. While all that was going down, I started to make the famous romesco sauce in the food processor. I added almonds, garlic, panko, paprika, red peppers, vinegar, salt, pepper, olive oil, and water to make.
When my mom was in the hospital, we got a prepped food service. It was kind of yummy, but my dad and brother didn't like it. Yeah, so I mean, like, you have to like it, right? Like, you have to like it. Again, it's a luxury, so like, if somebody doesn't like it, don't do it. I'm surprised there was seasoning. Yeah, the seasoning is definitely, like, it depends on what you get, but it can be lacking. It can be lacking for sure. They'll be like salt and pepper. If you're like, got anything else?
Make an interesting red sauce. After that, I took the potatoes and chicken out of the oven and started to cook the kale. This was just chicken juice, olive oil, and some leftover garlic. This one took way longer than the first meal, but it was done. And honestly, it looked pretty good. But how did it taste?
Oh, it was pre-made microwave food.
I don't like
microwave
it. I think it's a little bit boring. I was expecting a lot more. Normally when I cook chicken, I marinate it in some way. I don't like this cooking the chicken and then just throwing sauce on top of it. I think it's kind of, dare I say, lazy. The kale.
To be fair, I do think this is, it depends on the sauce. I think it's fine. It just depends on the sauce.
Oh, also, it's kind of boring.
I used to get pre-made meals. Like I think a lot of people have at least tried it.
And it's barely seasoned. The seasoning is just like not enough. Like when I season my potatoes, I season my potatoes. I don't like cooking chicken just with salt and pepper. I think that that's boring. Like I'd rather marinate it and then put sauce on top. Overall, I'm pretty disappointed. I think this is like a pretty lame meal.
What? 1.5 stars. Oof.
All right, next meal number 3.
Yeah, actually, if you get a meal and it's not good, it's really, really disappointing. You just spent like $30 to get that. Like healthy, low-cal meals twice a day, every day for like 2 months because I was in a pretty dark spot. Okay. I mean, I don't think meal kits are necessarily bad. I don't think I would just glaze them and be like, they're terrible. I do think like trying it for a bit and seeing how you feel about it, and if you have the money, like, okay. Imagine if you had somebody to cook with and you could cook with them with a meal kit. Like it could be like a fun thing to cook with somebody. I don't know. I'm not one to dismiss it right away. I do think it is pricey, but I think it's something that like does have a spot somewhere.
We are doing fondue turkey
meatloaf.
That's right, meatloaf. All meatloaf.
Okay, meatloaf is pretty good. Meatloaf is good. I'm not hitting on meatloaf.
This is the third meal that I've done so far, and interestingly, it's the first one that's not a Gordon Ramsay meal. They sent me the wrong recipe again. They sent me a recipe for fall harvest turkey meatballs. So
okay, this service is throwing. I'm sorry. This service is throwing. This home chef is throwing so badly. High sticks art.
Once again, I had to look up the recipe on my phone for the fondue turkey meatloaf. It, like before, has no ratings, so curious to see how it stacks up. But yeah, let's cook some meatloaf.
This meal was the first one that came with a tin that you can actually use to cook
Bacon
in
glaze
it,
with
which
barbecue
I
sauce
do
on
think is
meatloaf.
neat.
That would
All
be
these
good,
ingredients
though.
looked pretty fresh.
That'd be good,
and step
Larzo.
one was to start the sweet potatoes. Basically, I just sprayed the pan and added the potatoes along with barbecue seasoning, garlic salt, olive oil, and pepper. I mixed everything together and spread it out in a single layer and baked for about 20 minutes.
That looks pretty good.
Cooked, I moved on to the meatloaves. In one bowl, I combined the ground turkey, the remaining garlic salt, panko, and a pinch of salt. In a second bowl, I mixed softened cream cheese and shredded cheese, which was going to become the fondue topping later. After that, I pulled out the tray and pushed the potatoes to one side. From there, I tossed the meat around for fun and then made 2 little oval loaves. I added the turkey loaves to the empty side of the tray and then topped them with the cheese topping. After that, the whole...
I don't like this cheese topping. I don't like it. This doesn't look This doesn't look appetizing right there. Maybe it's just me. That does not look appetizing.
Tray went back into the oven. If
Okay,
anything
I guess I
browned
gotta
too
wait.
fast, you were supposed to cover it with foil.
Looks very sloppily put together. Yeah. Let him cook?
But
Okay, let him cook.
hey,
My bad. Let him
when
cook.
everything was done, I pulled out the tray and topped the meatloaves with crispy onions and pecans.
I'm letting him
Pretty
cook.
simple, pretty straightforward, and honestly, this looked pretty solid. But of course, the question is, how does it taste?
All right, initial reaction, it's pretty good. The potatoes, I
Nope,
thought
still
were
pretty bad.
really flavorful.
It
They
looks
have,
bad,
this
but it might
nice
taste good.
barbecue
Looks like a
taste
burger,
going
yeah.
on. These potatoes were significantly better than the potatoes I had
It looks like a
yesterday.
burger.
Again, like the seasoning
Could
on the
taste
other
good,
potatoes,
though.
there was like
Probably
barely
tastes
any in
good.
that bag, whereas this one they gave a lot. The turkey meatloaf is pretty good. It's the first time I've ever had turkey meatloaf. The cheese.
You know what I just noticed about the meatloaf is, like, when I cook meatloaf, I put, like, ketchup, barbecue sauce and stuff in it. I put a bunch of other stuff in it. He didn't put anything else in it besides the panko, salt, and the spice, whatever, the powder. Yeah, there's not much of a meatloaf. You put some, like, ketchup, barbecue, whatever. It's a dry meatloaf right there.
Filling with the cream cheese and cheese mixture I thought is pretty tasty. The other thing too was this was way easier to cook than the last meal. The meal yesterday I just felt like
maybe
the
it is really
directions
good,
were all
but-
over the place. This was pretty straightforward. I also like that they gave that little like thing to put it all in.
That
I
is
thought
cool
made
that they
things
gave
really
that.
easy.
That's
So,
nice
yeah,
of them.
I'm digging this food and I'm digging this meal. So
So after week
That's
one, we
generous.
have one strong Gordon Ramsay meal, one big miss, and one solid regular home chef dish. It's too early to decide on whether Gordon actually knows what he's talking about.
I would keep that little pan, right? I would keep that. That's nice.
And if this is improving my cooking skills at all. But I will say I am enjoying the experience so far. It's pushing me out of my comfort zone, and I really like the comfort food. Comfort food reminds me of something else we don't think about enough. A great pair of times
skipping
fast.
the
They
ad.
also sent
I skipped the ad.
me the correct recipes this time, so they're off to a good start.
Wait. What is that? I know he's gonna get to it, but what is that one? Wait.
All right, folks, it's time for the
There's one that
fourth
looks like
meal.
a-
We're doing stunning miso
That looks good.
salmon. Say that 5 times fast. They also sent me the correct recipes this time.
What's going on with the box? Velvety cauliflower potato soup. I don't know about this soup. I don't know about it. This does not look great. It doesn't look great. What's that? That looks good.
So they're off to a good start, as well as some coupons. It says here,
Oh, cool.
treat your friends and family to a home chef.
I would slurp that down.
We'll
You
see
would?
about
It doesn't
that.
look good
Other
to me.
noteworthy things, I got this apron and this metal prep table because things are getting serious. Inside the meal is bok choy again. We're
That's
dealing
a
with
lot.
bok choy.
That's a lot.
Once again, it's interesting. We've had 4 meals. 2 of them have had bok choy. This is the most bok choy I've
Bok
eaten
choy
in my
tastes
life.
good though.
So to begin, I
Bok
of course
choy
prepped
tastes
the
good.
vegetables, starting with Gordon Ramsay's seemingly favorite vegetable. After that, I needed to cut the cucumber, but I ran into a vegetable problem.
This cucumber sucks. It's very like
That's not a cucumber at all. What is that? That's not a cucumber. That's nothing.
bruised.
Regardless of my feelings about these vegetables, I dealt with them.
That's
I
tiny.
tossed the cucumbers into a bowl with vinegar,
That's tiny
sesame seeds,
cucumber.
and a pinch of salt to create a quick pickle, something I've actually never done before. After that, I had to make the miso glaze.
That's
to
a
marinate
wither-
the salmon.
it-
I grabbed
it
another
ain't
mixing
looking
bowl
good.
and added sugar, miso paste, soy sauce, the rest of the vinegar, and the ginger. And it smelled delicious. Next, I had to pat the salmon dry, pat, then add it to the glaze and let it marinate.
Give
While
it a
the salmon
massage.
soaked everything up, I cooked the rice. Pretty basic: rice, water, and ginger. Once everything was prepped, I assembled the sheet pan. I
Quick
placed
pickle,
the
no
bok choy
such
on
thing.
one side, salmon on the other, and sprinkled some umami seasoning all over it. Then
Okay.
it went to the oven, and the directions were a bit confusing on cook time, but I tried to follow them to my best ability. And once it was done, I plated everything together: the rice, the salmon, pickled cucumbers. And how was it?
I really liked it, but I don't know. The cost seemed like it was a lot. Like this was the most expensive dish so far. So I do feel like because of the
That's
price,
it.
I don't really
Yeah, that's it. Salmon, bok choy, and some rice for $16. The picture looked really good.
vibe with this one as much as the
And
other
cucumber,
ones,
I guess.
but overall, it's pretty good. No complaints. All right, we're back with
Doesn't look
another
very
recipe.
seasoned. Yeah, it
this
didn't-
time we're doing a soup recipe. That's right, soup. Gordon Ramsay soup. Velvety cauliflower potato soup. So they actually sent me an email about this recipe. They said, we're reaching out to inform you that due to an unforeseen ingredient shortage, you may be receiving parsnips instead of cauliflower florets. So I guess we're dealing with parsnips now. And like, I don't mean to offend anybody, but who eats parsnips? I don't think I've ever bought a parsnip at the store.
Fingers
I don't
moved
think
too
I've
fast.
ever ordered a parsnip
Furiously,
dish.
like,
So this is
typing
gonna
for
be
the
interesting
cooking.
for multiple reasons. One, we're entering into parsnip territory, a place I've never gone before. And then two,
Tell Otto he can't eat a sea cucumber. Why not? Why can't I do that? Also, why didn't she say anything? Lonnie? Lonnie, is everything okay? Hold on. Lonnie, you doing okay? Why didn't she say it? Oh, I bet there's a banned word. I bet there's a banned word in there. Ah, banned word. I'm not going to say what the banned word is, but there's a banned word in there, so she ain't saying it.
this is Gordon Ramsay's soup.
I
All right.
love
I'm shifting
parsnips,
into soup mode.
but
I started
cauliflower
off-
is part of the recipe? Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. Otto, it's come my guess. You guessed correctly.
by prepping the veggies.
You guessed
It's set
correctly.
to cut the cauliflower florets into bite-sized pieces. So I assumed that was the same plan with the parsnips. Then I sliced a lemon, stripped the sage leaves, chopped the shallot, and minced the garlic. A lot of front-loaded work here, but that is kind of the vibe with most soups. Once everything was prepped, I heated a pot with olive oil and
Okay.
tossed in the garlic and shallot. They
Yeah,
cooked
looks-
for a minute until
looks fine.
everything smelled like an Italian grandmother's house on Sunday. Then I added the parsnips and potatoes and stirred a bit. After that, I poured in water, this thing called mirepoix base, which I've never used before, and then a cream base. I stirred more, set a timer for 15 minutes, and covered to let it simmer. While the soup simmered, I tackled the toast. Now, normally, I don't need directions to make toast, but
Full
I am
name,
trying to
sea
see if Gordon
cucumber.
has
Yep.
any toast tricks
This
up
one
his
is more
sleeve.
involved. It
Spoiler
feels like
alert,
you might
he
learn
does
it.
not.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. Gordon Ramsay has not reinvented toast. At least not yet. After that, it was time to finish the soup. I blended
Okay.
everything with my blender until it was silky smooth. Then I put the soup back on the heat and added lemon juice as directed. Then I took out the bread and narrowly avoided a ciabatta disaster. Once everything
Ooh.
was set, I ladled the soup into a bowl, toppled it with the drizzle of the sage brown butter, and prepared to begin my voyage into the world of soup. So, how did it taste?
Oh, I did
Oh
not
my
like
God. That's horrible. This might be
that.
the
Ooh. And there it is. Yeah, oh no. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, if you get a bad meal, oh no, that's like $30 down the drain. That's like $30 down the drain.
worst soup I've ever had. Like, I'm not kidding. I wish I could
It
give
needed
this
the cauliflower.
to like each one of you to try. It's the parsnips. It completely ruined everything. Make this at home, I dare you. With
No.
parsnip. It's
Why would I?
you'll be disgusted. Actually, don't make this at home. I don't want you to waste food. It's awful. It's so bad. Like,
Parsnip
oh,
is good though.
it's everything
Combination.
bad about soup put into one dish. Like, it's not good. It's disgusting.
Must be a you
Like,
thing.
I can't even, like,
Maybe.
I'm not even gonna like eat it. Like, that's how bad it is. Like, the lemon, the parsnip combo
Yeah, I can't lie. It doesn't look very good.
is just gross. And again, I love potato soup. I love potato soup. I like soup in general. I'm a soup guy. I like soup. But this is horrible. Who thought this was a good idea? Because it's not. It's a bad idea. Or, you know what? I'm gonna quote Gordon Ramsay and say it was shit. It was shit.
It was likely the
All
combo.
right, so
It
if
was
you couldn't
combo.
tell, this whole
It was a combo. You know what soup is good that I make from the meal kits that I get, the HelloFresh ones? Loaded baked potato soup. Oh. Oh, that's good. Oh, gamers. Gamers, let me tell you something. Loaded baked potato soup. That one. Make it. Make it. It's so damn good. Almost as good as krill. Taco soup too. Yeah.
whole mix-up annoyed me and
Never
got me
had that.
wondering
Have
about
it.
the logistics of these
Tomorrow.
companies. How do you mess up badly
Skip
enough
school and
that
have it.
cauliflower gets replaced with parsnips? Those aren't even
I've never had
cousins.
lasagna
That's a
soup.
produce identity crisis. And once I started digging, the picture became a lot clearer. Meal kit companies don't ship from one big warehouse. They operate multiple regional distribution centers across the country. Big refrigerated hubs where ingredients come in, get portioned, packaged, labeled, and shipped out on tight deadlines. Home Chef, for example, has facilities in places like Chicago, Atlanta, Dallas, and more, each supplying huge geographic regions. Every week, they're sending out millions of tiny portions of vegetables, sauces, herbs, proteins, spice packets, and more. Ingredients come in and get shipped out on insanely tight deadlines. They call this just-in-time
Spider soup? Don't nod your head like that with spider soup. I don't like that.
sourcing. Basically, they don't
Spider
keep
soup.
a pantry. They order the food to arrive right before they pack your box. It's efficient for them, but it's risky for you. If a truck breaks down, if a supplier is short, you don't get cauliflower soup, you get parsnip soup. But here's the thing, this isn't just a me problem, and it's definitely not just a one-off thing. The Home Chef subreddit is filled with posts complaining about missing ingredients, wrong items, overripe produce, or recipe cards that don't match what's in the box. The Better Business Bureau page for Home Chef has a long list of complaints about shipping and quality issues too. Trustpilot isn't much better. I found multiple reviews about missing recipe cards, which I dealt with in my first week.
Damn. He really don't like the soup load. No. Whale stew? No whale stew. Yucky. So, I've had one HelloFresh box not deliver, which I got refunded. And I've had wrong ingredients once. But every other time, it's been fine. So, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm lucky. But maybe this Home Chef one is not the best to start with. And I've had Sunbasket. I don't think Sunbasket tastes very good. I just haven't had good experiences with them. But HelloFresh I've had good experiences with.
Soup and stew both warm the heart, but they have their differences. Soup tends to have more liquid, making it lighter and broth-based.
I can let you know how these meals are when I get to them.
Is thicker, heartier, and often features larger chunks of ingredients simmered together. Both are delicious in their own way.
And
perfect
I still
for
can't
gonna
figure
keep
out
going.
how that's
I gotta
something
keep
they
going.
haven't fixed. But what really rubs me the wrong way is how they handle these situations. When they emailed me about the mix-up, there was no whoops button,
but since it was
no
frozen meal, the
refund
bell pepper
button,
was icky.
no
Ooh.
option to swap out the meal for something else, nothing. If you complain, you probably get store credit, but I don't have time to message a chatbot about produce. So if we're asking whether these kits are worth it, we have to factor this in. You aren't just paying for the food, you're gambling on the logistics of an industry that hasn't fully figured itself out yet. All right, are you ready? It's
Next
time
meal.
for the next meal. We are
He's on
doing
meal 6.
stovetop chicken parmesan with pesto zucchini. This is not a Gordon Ramsay meal, but I'm actually really excited
That looks
to
pretty
see how
good.
this goes.
Wait,
because
that looks
I
pretty
love chicken
good.
Parmesan. It's like one of my favorite dishes.
That looks good.
So yeah, let's get started.
Chicken parm can be made in all kinds of ways, but it really comes down to needing a binder and something to use as a crust. Usually the crust is panko crumbs and the binder is egg, at least in my experience. This time, Home Chef wanted me to coat the chicken with mayo and season it with garlic, pepper, and salt. Now, I have used mayo as a binder for barbecue, but not once in my life for chicken parm. But I'm always down to try something new. After everything was prepped, I threw the chicken in the oven for
it
about
looks
8
pretty good.
minutes. Well, the chicken did its thing. I started the zucchini on my cast iron skillet. When the 8 minutes were up, I flipped the chicken and topped it with marinara, mozzarella, and parmesan.
Mayo,
then
yeah.
I went back to
Yeah,
my
mayo
skillet
works.
and did another thing that I have never done in my life.
Mayo's
I put
yeah.
pesto on zucchini. Now, I am a massive
Mayo's
pesto
fine.
guy, so I was totally down to get a little experimental here. But again, something new. Once everything was ready, I plated the chicken parmesan with the pesto zucchini, and everything smelled delicious. Visually, I think it looked great, but the real question is whether it was bussin'.
So the chicken was pretty good. They didn't reinvent the wheel on chicken parmesan.
Yeah,
it's a pretty
looks good.
basic
That
recipe
looks really
for
good.
chicken parm. That doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just pretty
I
good.
used the flavor
not, like,
for some, and Twitch
phenomenal.
decided
And then
to turn
as
my
for the
volume up to
vegetable,
max.
I actually
Oh, wow.
really did enjoy
Thank you,
the
Twitch.
pesto sauce included in it. I've never done like a pesto zucchini type dish before, so I thought that was pretty good.
People are
My
sleeping,
complaint,
Twitch.
though, like with a lot of these dishes so far,
Twitch said-
is they
Twitch
just
said
give you
no.
the bare minimum amount of seasoning or sauce, and I feel like with this, the vegetable dish specifically, it could have used more pesto sauce, and only occasionally am I getting the bites with the pesto sauce in it. So for those reasons, I would say it's good, but not.
That chicken looks good though. You swap out the vegetable maybe with either more seasoning or sauce or something else. That chicken is good.
not great.
Looks good. I'm gonna try not to
All right,
pause
ladies
as
and
much,
gentlemen,
by the
we're
way. I
doing
don't want to take up
pizza.
too much
One
time.
of my favorite things, a classic.
Sweet
but
potato?
we're doing it Gordon Ramsay
Ooh, I've never had this before. This looks good.
style.
What is Gordon Ramsay's style? I don't really know. The directions on this one were a bit complex, especially for pizza, but I'm always up for the challenge. The first step was forming the meatballs. They had me mix panko, ground beef, onion, salt, and
Creme fraiche?
or creme fraiche, apparently. Creme fraiche in meatballs was new to me, but again, I rolled with it. Literally.
fine.
Forming
gotta
about
bind
12
it.
meatballs. They said 16, but I did 12 instead. Once they were on the tray, I roasted them for about 10 minutes until they browned and hit the safe temperature. While they cooked, I moved on to the sauce. Pretty straightforward. Saute garlic and olive oil, add Italian seasoning and red pepper flakes. Then dump in the tomato sauce and let everything simmer. It
Okay.
looked and smelled amazing.
Looks good.
Then the flatbreads. Home Chef wanted them toasted directly on the oven rack first. At the same time, I mixed the pesto ricotta together. A little out of order, but I had time to kill. Once the flatbreads came out golden, I started building everything. A layer of sauce, then the
Yeah.
meatballs, and finally Parmesan on top.
Boy, that
Essentially,
looks good.
Pizza. They
Ooh.
can call it flatbread all they want.
Fuck, I'm hungry now. Oh, I'm so hungry right now. Oh no, this is bad. Oh, that looks so good.
But this is just pizza for people trying to be fancy. Credit where it's due, this smelled like heaven on earth. But how did it taste?
It's very good. The meatballs are really good.
God,
The
that
sauce
looks
is
good.
surprisingly spicy. It gives it a nice little kick.
Ugh.
The pesto ricotta cheese blend complements
I
the
need
whole
it.
thing. I
I
really
need
like
it.
this. I'd say this is probably one of my favorite things that I've tried so far. Of course, you guys know I'm a big pizza guy. I love my pizza. And while this was definitely a fun experiment creating my own pizza at home, it does make you wonder, for this cost, why not just order a pizza? It's way more convenient, probably similar taste or somewhat the same, and you wouldn't have to make a mess of your kitchen.
Okay,
All right.
I do want to say homemade pizza. I would prefer homemade pizza over a chain. I would prefer to make my own pizza over a chain if I could. That's just me though. Cuz I want to put different stuff in there. I don't know, I like homemade pizza. I like cooking the homemade pizza.
All right, next meal, we're doing a stress-free beurre blanc vegetable gnocchi.
I started this meal by
Stress-free?
grabbing my knife and wandering around aimlessly, then took everything apart and was surprised by how many ingredients were involved for something reportedly stress-free. But I began by searing the gnocchi,
Stress-free.
something I've actually never done
That
before.
doesn't look
I've boiled
good.
them, but never seared.
No.
It was pretty simple. You just cook them until they're golden with some olive oil.
Not-
From
doesn't
there, I
look the
chopped the
best.
asparagus and shallots, and then sauteed the shallots and asparagus until they softened. Then added peas, spinach, garlic salt, and red pepper flakes. After that, I added the golden gnocchi back into the mix, along with the beurre blanc butter and creme fraiche. If you didn't know, beurre blanc is a classic French butter sauce that is famously not stress-free. But Home Chef, or Gordon Ramsay, simplified it to butter,
Yeah, it
creme
doesn't-
fraiche, water, and lemon
yeah, it
juice.
doesn't look the best.
And it became saucy fast. I topped
I'll
it
send you
with
some
walnuts,
recipes?
which
Okay.
I
Yeah,
completely
send
forgot
me.
to toast until the very end.
Tomorrow, yeah.
But yeah, this felt somewhat fast to make, and it was time to smash.
All right, so how did it taste? Honestly, pretty good.
Oh,
I'm pretty
okay.
impressed with the flavor combination going on here. The vegetables, the gnocchi, the sauce.
It looks fine. I do like gnocchi. I actually like gnocchi. This looks okay.
Gnocchi, the sauce. It tastes
But the problem is, would you pay that much for it?
really delicious. The question, of course, though, on everyone's mind, is it stress-free? Was it easy to make? And the answer is yes. This one was relatively easy to make compared to a lot of the other dishes. I would
Probably not
say
worth
it's
it,
stress-free.
right?
And yeah, it's pretty delicious.
Meal
All right, it's time
9.
for meal number 9. This time we're doing spinach and goat cheese.
Larzo, do you like it? I don't know about this one for me.
Smothered
This one's
chicken.
not for me.
Now what's interesting is once again they gave us the wrong card.
Oh, good.
They sent us another card for Tex-Mex chicken lettuce cups, although that's not at all what I ordered. This is twice now that this has happened where they've sent us the wrong recipe card. So once again, I had to look on my phone for the recipe and follow that way. I just think it's weird that that's happened twice now. Another notable thing about this dish is they already cut up the peppers and onions. So for this one, you literally just throw it in the pan and are done with it. So that's nice. It seems somewhat pretty straightforward.
Goat cheese
I've made
is so
versions of
good.
smothered chicken plenty of times.
Yeah,
and this
it just
seemed pretty
didn't.
in line
It
with
didn't
that.
look
Except this
tasty.
used way more plastic and looked like it had less seasoning. The prep for the vegetables was basically just removing them from their plastic bags, dumping the broccoli, peppers, and onions into the provided tray.
Oh, they gave
and
him a tray
adding
again.
a little salt and olive oil. I shook everything around, covered it with foil, and threw it in the oven. Afterwards, I marched around a bit and started the chicken. So far, every home chef recipe has told me to pat dry the chicken, something I normally don't have to do because my chicken at home isn't soaking wet. Then I made the smothered mixture, which was spinach, goat cheese, creme fraiche, pepper, and a splash of water. Once that was ready, I seasoned the chicken with a garlic and parsley mix.
Okay.
Added salt, and when the vegetables had cooked for a bit, I placed the chicken on the empty side of the tray. I spread the goat cheese blend on top, covered everything with a small portion of chimichurri seasoning they gave me, and cooked it for about 20 minutes.
It's not
This was
exciting
definitely
for
one
me.
of the easier things I've made so far. There was not a lot of prep at all. But did that pay off to something tasty?
Honestly, it's pretty average. More sauce
Yeah.
and more seasoning.
It looked
Keep getting,
average.
These small packets. And
It
the
looked very
small amount
average.
of
The
sauce.
vegetables looked
and I feel
average.
like, again, these dishes are like 1 or 2 or even 3 steps away from being really good. Like the sauce in itself is delicious, but there's just very little of it. Pretty average. It's pretty safe. I would say that if you wanted to serve this to somebody with, boring taste, great, they'd probably love it. But for me, who likes a lot of things, a lot of different seasonings and spices, I'd say it's pretty average. And for that reason, I'm just really not that into it.
I think he's had one really bad one, at least 2 or 3 kind of meh ones, and then some good ones. So but that's the problem. Like if you keep hitting average, it's just not worth it, right? I make it better when I like it. I make it better than what he is making it from the kit. Yeah. I mean, it's just that, but that's a challenge. Like he's doing the kit, that's what he's got.
All right,
theoretically.
it's time for the next meal. We're doing a little filet mignon.
Potatoes, some arugula, okay, and a little filet mignon.
This is Gordon Ramsay's take on a steak dish.
And before this is made, I need to address the elephant in the room. The price. This dish was the most expensive, costing about $25 a serving for a total of $50. About
That
25
hurts.
bucks a serving to cook for yourself? Are you serious? In this economy? When you look at the numbers from this whole challenge so far, the range is all over the place. Gordon's meals floated anywhere between $12 and $25, while the regular home chef
serving.
meals sat closer to $12. Not outrageous, but definitely more than buying
It was $50 total for 2 servings, Volpez. 50. Just for that one.
groceries and cooking the same thing yourself. They throw all these numbers at you, like 70% off your first box,
Yeah.
extra free meals, free shipping, just to make you feel like you're getting a deal, when the reality is you're paying a premium. Take the chicken. Home Chef has been sending me 12-ounce packs of chicken breasts. With the meal costing around 12 bucks a serving, the math works out to roughly $16 a pound for
Yep.
chicken breasts. Now, obviously, the price includes the extras, the rice, the veggies, but typically things like carrots cost pennies.
Yeah,
the
it's
value
nothing.
is in the meat. And considering chicken breasts at the grocery store cost anywhere from $2.50 to maybe $5 a pound, you're getting absolutely rinsed here. But let's circle back to the steak. This is a 10-ounce pack of beef tenderloin fillets. At $25,
I could make a month's worth of
that
food
comes
for
out
50.
to roughly $40 per pound. If you
Yeah.
have no clue what beef tenderloin should cost, I don't blame you. I didn't either until I looked it up, and $40 a pound is boutique butcher territory. I checked the prices at Kroger, Home Chef's own parent company, and you can buy this exact same cut for $18 to $26
Yeah. Yeah.
per pound. On average, beef tenderloin fillets and center cut steaks sit between $18 to $26 per pound, depending on your region. So put simply, this meal kit steak costs almost double what you'd pay at an ordinary grocery store. It's
Yeah. I have to go, Mr. Whale. Have an important appointment. No worries, Powder. Thanks for popping in. So like I said earlier, meal kits are a luxury. If you don't want to pay the extra luxury, don't do it. I like getting the recipes. I also don't pay for like filet mignon from these kits. And I know that they're overpriced. But for me, I like getting the recipes. Like I like kind of having everything packaged together so I don't have to go out and get it myself. Like there's some added value there in removing that part of the equation. Could I just cook all these myself? Sure. If I knew the recipe, it would be cheaper for sure. But I don't know. I only get it like once or twice a month, and I find that that's perfect. As like a 1 to 2 month thing, yeah, I wouldn't get this every day. God no. It's like once or twice.
It's like you're paying the
Splash you
restaurant
later.
price
Nice.
without the restaurant. Now, in Home Chef's defense, they aren't unique here. HelloFresh does it, Blue Apron
Yeah, of
does
course
it,
they do.
Factor does it. All these meal kits know that most people won't actually run the math. You're paying for the portioning, delivery, and the illusion that following a recipe card is basically culinary school. It's about the convenience, but it is an insanely high markup when you do check the math. So, is it really worth it? Well, let's continue on.
Time to cook the filet mignon. I started by roasting the potatoes,
Filet mignon.
solving them, tossing them with olive oil.
Replaces like a restaurant outing. It does, but it has to be better than the restaurant, right? Like, or equal, right? There are certain meals I know now that I would enjoy, and I think I would enjoy making as opposed to going out to the restaurant. I kind of know ahead of time. Like loaded baked potato soup, probably cheaper at a restaurant, but I mean, like I can make it, and I can have, I can make multiple servings of it actually. Ramen, so I can make ramen from this thing, and it's certain types of ramen, and it's more expensive than the restaurant, maybe about the same, but making it's fun. I like making it. So restaurant prices are crazy. Yeah, restaurant prices are crazy. That's a different conversation.
Spreading them out on a baking sheet to cook.
Certain
While
ones.
the potatoes did their thing, I moved on to the bacon chive situation. I chopped the chives, sizzled the tiny bit of bacon they gave me.
That's the bacon? I would like to say this, if I was cooking with my partner or a friend and we made it like a whole little date, maybe, yeah, like it would be like something to do with someone else, right? Yeah, that's the bacon. Beef ramen, beef and broccoli. Yeah, I mean, I can make ramen on my own now. Like I've made it from several meal kits enough where I'm like, oh yeah, I can make this on my own. Hi, Texas Ranger. Yeah, this bacon ain't doing it.
And threw in the panko to toast.
That bacon
Then it
ain't
was
doing
time
it.
for the meat. Home Chef sent me 2 small fillets. I patted them dry, seasoned them with salt, and tossed them into my cast iron skillet. After that, I dressed the arugula by tossing it with lemon juice, olive oil, and salt as our side. Once the steaks
Okay.
were done, I took them off and used the same skillet to make the gravy, or pois. Traditionally, this is a peppercorn cream sauce that requires a little finesse. Home
Okay.
Chef simplified it to chives, mushroom base, heavy cream, and creme fraiche. I mixed everything together, let it simmer, and it actually looked pretty legit.
Yeah, it
Soon
looks
after
pretty
the
good.
potatoes were done and I plated everything. The whole dish came together nicely. But as always, appearances
Okay, the dish looks pretty good. It's
just don't matter. The question is, did this expensive Gordon Ramsay branded meal taste restaurant quality?
All right, honestly, this was delicious. Whatever that mushroom stuff is, it like really brought out some special flavor. I don't even know how to describe it. It's so good. Potato wise, they're nothing too crazy. I mean, it's just some basic potatoes. For the salad, it's pretty average. I do think it works well with the steak and potatoes. It's a nice complementary side. It was delicious and it was phenomenal, but again, like you could pick up steak, you could pick up all these items yourself, probably a whole stick of bacon, and you'd get way more food out of it. But now that I know this gravy recipe, I'm 100% gonna take this with me because that gravy is phenomenal. So for that alone, I did really like the dish, and I do think it was very delicious.
Yeah, see, that's the thing though, is like now that you've done it once, you know how to do it again. That's helpful.
All right, next meal. We're doing a stunning Mediterranean spiced shrimp and couscous. Now, if you didn't know, I'm a big couscous guy. Some might even call me a couscous fan. I also have some experience with shrimp. People said I messed up shrimp, so there's a little bit of a redemption arc.
Okay,
in
but
me
shrimp I can
cooking
get
shrimp.
behind.
Will I make it good? Will I make it bad? Well, you're gonna have to keep watching. Also, there's this thing in here called za'atar, which I've never even heard of that term before.
So, za'atar seasoning is a Middle Eastern spice blend that actually dates all the way back to the 12th century, making it one of the oldest spice blends in the world, which I think is pretty cool. To start this dish, I cooked the couscous. Pretty simple. You just cook couscous like you would rice.
You won auto? What do you mean? The shrimp. What's wrong? What did I say? I said I'd have the shrimp though. Shrimp looks good.
I chopped the zucchini, cut the tomatoes, minced the shallot, sliced the lemon, and seasoned all the vegetables with salt and pepper. After that, I dealt with the shrimp. It was super wet and kind of gross.
Ew.
Then I tossed the zucchini with paprika and olive oil, spread it out on a baking sheet, and threw it in the oven. While the zucchini roasted, I added the tomatoes and shallots to the couscous and set it aside. And now we arrive at the shrimp. This time, like LeBron returning to Cleveland, I made history and cemented my legacy by cooking the shrimp like a pro. And if you disagree, you're disagreeing with Gordon Ramsay. Just remember that.
I gotta say, it's amazing. I have never had a
shrimp looks
dish
not
like
the
this
greatest.
before.
Not at all.
This is like
it didn't look
really,
good.
really good. Would I ever order this at a restaurant? No. But now I actually might. Like, I'm shocked with how good this dish is. This is probably the one that I was least excited about eating, and it really did surprise me through and through. With this one, there was plenty of seasoning in the packet, so I think that helped too, because as we've discussed before, sometimes there hasn't been that much seasoning, but this one, they hooked us up, and they gave us a ton of feta cheese too, which I thought was pretty nice. I can't lie, Gordon knows his shrimp. All right, next dish. This is one sheet hot honey mustard chicken. Now, if you're familiar with the channel, you know I've dealt with hot honey before,
10 minutes
so I'm practically an expert in that department, so this shouldn't be a problem. This dish looks really good. Just from the pictures, it looks like it's got this nice glaze going on, so I'm super interested to see how this works out. Also worth mentioning, despite the name one sheet hot honey mustard chicken, it doesn't come with a sheet. I have to use my own, which is fine, but I just thought maybe it would be like one of the other dishes we've had so far where it all comes in one and then you can just throw it in there. But anyways, let's check this one out.
It all starts with Brussels sprouts. I prepped them, and if I'm being honest, these didn't look like the highest quality. But, of course, I made it work. Then I patted the chicken dry because Home Chef is sending me the wettest poultry known to mankind. After that, I dipped the chicken in panko. Just panko. No seasoning, no binder. This feels a little weird to me, but we'll see. I was instructed to use half the garlic salt on top and cook everything for 15 minutes. While it cooked, I made the sauce. You don't like the sprouts? Which was just melted butter mixed with honey, mustard, smoked paprika, garlic salt, and red pepper flakes.
Why is all the meat wet? I don't know.
Very tasty. When the time was up, I flipped the chicken, let it cook for another 5 minutes, then took it out and poured the hot honey blend all over the top. I put it back in the oven for 2 more minutes before finally taking out everything, plating it together, and giving it a try.
All right, so how did it taste? Well, this is pretty darn good. The sauce is really tasty.
Might be fair.
It's a perfect combination of sweet and spicy. Having said that, I think the whole dish just falls short. And here's why. There's just 2 items on it.
Yeah,
chicken
it's pretty.
And Brussels sprouts.
It's pretty basic.
Call me crazy, but that's not a meal. It needs one more thing. I don't know what it is. Maybe a pasta, a potato. The chicken was good, but that was it. That was pretty much the only redeeming quality.
It's a very bare meal.
And after cooking that chicken and now 12 meals from Home Chef, I started to notice something strange with a lot of the recipes I was making. There was a lot of inconsistency. The recipe language varied a lot.
Oh, sweet and sour sauce, maybe.
Easy to follow. Others felt like I was trying to complete
sweet and sour sauce with Brussels sprouts, maybe. I'd be willing to try that.
A culinary puzzle. The quality and tone did not feel like it was coming from one creative mind. And that got me thinking, how involved is Gordon Ramsay here? So I did what any perfectly sane person would do and started digging through Home Chef's publicly available legal documents, checked their FAQs, their terms and conditions, and even a purchase order for one of their supplier contracts. And in that paperwork, I found something interesting. There's a section that spells out exactly how Home Chef handles anything created for them. It says that any processes, methods, or other creative work developed for Home Chef is legally considered a quote work product that belongs entirely to Home Chef, not the creator, not the chef, Home Chef. In other words, if someone develops a recipe for them, Home Chef owns it outright, permanently. Which led me to my next realization. Home Chef does not just ship boxes of food with recipe cards. They have full-time research and development chefs. You can see the job listings yourself. These are people whose day-to-day work is developing, testing, and consistently pumping out recipes for the company.
Yeah, I feel like that would be obvious without even looking through all that they would have like their own chefs that they would hire to make the recipes. I feel like is that not something that would be obvious?
Interesting. So then I looked at how Home Chef talks about its celebrity collaborations. When they partnered with Rachel Ray, they said directly, quote, easy to follow recipes created by Ray herself. When they partnered with Dolly Parton, there was a heavy focus on her good looking cooking cookbook, which clearly points to actual family recipes. But with Gordon Ramsay, things get complicated. On Gordon's own Facebook ads, he calls them My Culinary Collection Meals and My 5-Star Meals. And the brand says says, "These are meals Gordon swears by." Home Chef's website also calls them Gordon Ramsay's 5-star meals, right on the landing page.
Yep.
But when you look at the more formal materials, the tone shifts. In Home Chef's official press release, the only authorship phrasing is, quote, "recipes inspired by Gordon Ramsay's cooking."
Yeah, see, this is what I thought it would be. It's not literally his dish. It's got to be something that's inspired by him, and they're using his name for the marketing of it. It's not going to be his exact dish.
Inspired by.
Because he's not going to let them just take his dish and say like, oh, well, you own it now. Congratulations.
Not created by, not developed by, not tested by, just inspired. And this gets even stranger. I checked Home Chef's source code on their official Gordon Ramsay landing page. The source code, if you didn't know, includes the hidden metadata that the website sends to search engines. Meta tags are not written for consumers, they're written for search engines and often reflect the more factual description behind the scenes. And tucked inside that metadata is a phrase that gives it all away. It says, quote, "inspired by Gordon Ramsay." This is an internal declaration that the content is branded as Gordon, but not authored by Gordon, which means the only place these are being presented as his meals is in the marketing layer on the surface. Now, I never want to assume anything. It is impossible to know how involved.
Otto lost with chop points for not liking couscous. I don't like couscous. I'm sorry. It's not something that I like go out of my way for sure. Like I don't get excited for it. I'm sorry. You don't get to decide if I lose with chop points. Rosie has to decide that.
Gordon Ramsay was with these Home Chef meals without him directly stating it. This could be a coincidence or maybe a miscommunication. Maybe these really are his personal recipes.
I doubt it.
Or maybe Home Chef's in-house research and development chefs created a slate of dishes and Gordon signed off on the ones he wanted. Both scenarios are possible. And when you look back at the meals so far, the inconsistency starts to line up with that. Some dishes hit, some fall flat. Some instructions make sense, some feel scrambled. This is what you would expect if these recipes were not coming from one person or one chef, but from a corporate pipeline. If Gordon personally created these recipes, Home Chef would and should say so. They did it with Rachel Ray, they did it with Dolly Parton. Those collaborations are crystal clear about authorship. But that brings up the real question. Does any of this actually matter? If you're using these kits to improve your cooking, save time, and get something decent on the table, does it really change whether the recipe came from Gordon Ramsay, Rachel Ray, or a completely anonymous R&D chef from a test kitchen? For some, probably not. But for everyone signing up because they believe they're learning Gordon Ramsay's 5-star meals, the answer isn't so simple.
Well, it's deceptive. It's just deceptive marketing.
Well.
I am second to Rosie in Wichita authority.
My 3 final meals have been
I'll
delivered.
let Rosie tell me.
You might be wondering where I got this chef's hat. Well, Home Chef did not deliver it to me. Despite me deserving it, I had to order it off Amazon for an inappropriate, ungodly amount. Some may call it crass. I call it necessary. This is for the haters, the doubters, the non-believers. Gordon Ramsay, the people in the comments who say I can't cook, and of course, my home ec teacher who said, "Zach, you're a terrible chef and you have ridiculous hair."
The dish is Gordon Ramsay's brilliant blue cheese beef burger, a gourmet burger. I didn't know.
Blue cheese beef burger. Caramelized onions? That looks pretty good.
So there was such a thing.
That
I
was
started
pretty good.
with the fries. I cut them up, tossed them with oil and salt, and threw them in the oven. While the fries were cooking, I hopped over to caramelize the onions. Then came the aioli, which was lemon juice, garlic, a lot of garlic, mayo, hot sauce, salt, and pepper. I stirred it all together like a wizard making a potion. I checked on the fries and moved on. Then I made the burgers. Despite all the seasoning they gave me for the aioli, this part was just ground beef, salt, and pepper. I formed 2 patties, seared them in a hot pan, and melted the blue cheese on top. Easy, straightforward,
Needs
nothing
more garlic?
to complain about. They also wanted me to whip up a little arugula side, salt, pepper, lemon juice, and olive oil. The fries finished, the burgers got flipped and topped with cheese.
Okay. It doesn't look the best so
And of
far.
course, I toasted the buns. It all looked pretty fantastic. But
Cooked pepper full with couscous? Okay.
then again, most burgers do.
All right, does the Gordon Ramsay burger live up to the hype? Not really. I mean, I think it's very good. Don't get me wrong. It's a great burger, but I was just expecting a little bit more. I think that it's a pretty basic burger that you could pretty much get anywhere. I wouldn't consider this.
Yeah, it doesn't look anything like the picture. It looks nothing like the picture. Where's the picture again?
Who said, Zach, you're a terrible chef and you have ridiculous...
A gourmet...
Well, look at the picture. The picture looks amazing.
A basic burger that you could pretty much get anywhere. I wouldn't consider this gourmet.
I don't know.
And if you're going to do burgers, just
doesn't
make
look
them
as
yourself.
nearly as
Don't
good as the
order them
picture.
from a meal kit. Just buy ground beef, buy potatoes, and do your own version of a burger. I'm sure it'll be just as good, if not better.
Last meal.
Oh, hey, it's time for another shrimp dish. This
Ramsay's. Wait. It was Ramsay's.
Oh, hey, it's time for
Crispy sesame shrimp. Ooh. Okay.
another shrimp
Have you seen videos on how they make the picture food? It's crazy how inedible they are. I've not
dish.
seen that before.
This time, we're doing crispy shrimp.
This one kicked off like half the meals in this challenge, make rice. While that simmered, I chopped the green onions and tossed together a quick slaw with yuzu sauce, carrots, and cabbage. Simple enough. Then I sauteed the snap peas with the green onions.
All
Just
fake
olive oil,
practically?
salt, and pepper.
Probably.
After, I took a look at the shrimp, and yeah, another pack.
What the fuck is going on with this meal kit shrimp? What is happening? Can someone explain to me how the shrimp looks like this?
Pack of runny shrimp, like super runny.
Ugh.
Anyways, they wanted me to combine
Jesus.
tempura mix, salt, and water.
Yeah, it was bubbling. What the frick?
To make a pancake-like batter binder for the shrimp.
I did not
For the
like
crust,
that.
they wanted panko and sesame seeds. Frying these was messy, and honestly did not work out great. I think I needed more panko, or the ratio was off, but I followed the directions exactly how they wanted it. After
Wait, that didn't look cooked. Did that look cooked right there? That doesn't even look cooked right there. I don't think this is going to be very good. Oven dyes are stuff like ice cream. It'll be butter for those pictures just with foods dyes. Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, this doesn't look
they
cooked.
wanted it. Afterwards,
I don't
though,
think this is gonna
plated
be
the
very
rice,
good.
Stuffed it with the slaw, added the snap peas, and finished it
I don't
all
think it's
with
gonna be very
crispy
good.
shrimp
It
and
didn't look
sesame
cooked.
Sauce.
Looking at like the pictures, I don't know
It's
if
not
they gave
pink
me
shrimp, it
too
looked
much
like that.
sesame seeds.
I don't
and,
know.
like, not enough of the panko. Just like way too much. So it kind of like
just didn't look very
discolored
cooked.
some of the shrimp, and also it's just like way too much sesame seed. I'm not really crazy about the shrimp. Is this the worst dish I had so far? No, but it's definitely at the very, very bottom, and I would not recommend this. I think it's
Doesn't look good in general.
bad.
No, it looked terrible.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. It's time for the final meal. We're gonna be making some salmon.
Oh, this is the fun.
We're finishing with salmon for a reason.
Okay,
I wanted
salmon.
one last comparison, one final look at a regular Home Chef
Salmon's
meal
good.
versus a Gordon Ramsay meal. If you remember earlier, we cooked Gordon Ramsay's version of salmon early on, so this is a true side-by-side. Prep was straightforward. I seasoned the salmon with Cajun seasoning, salt, pepper, and olive oil, then placed it skin down on the
Okay,
baking
Cajun
sheet. The potatoes
seasoning.
and asparagus went on the other half with more olive oil, salt, pepper, and cheese. Cheese
Okay.
on asparagus. I'm still undecided on that one. Once everything was set,
That's
the whole
not
tray
looking good
roasted until the
salmon.
veggies were
That
tender
looks
and the salmon
okay.
hit temp.
We'll see
And
what
yeah,
it looks like
that's
after
another
this. The
salmon
seasoning
dish.
looks good.
A Home Chef salmon dish. This final
Oh,
plate
he
gives
cooked it
me the
already.
perfect opportunity to answer one of the big questions that we've been seeking the
The seasoning looks pretty good.
answers for in this video. Was there a significant difference
The
between
seasoning
Gordon's
looks good.
meals and the regular Home Chef ones? Put simply, no. I expected Ramsay's to be noticeably better, and they weren't.
Yeah,
they
of
all
course
felt
they're
about
not.
the same. And honestly, if you've been following these star ratings throughout the video, the numbers back that up.
15 meals.
There's no lemon,
parsnip
yeah,
soup,
no lemon at
a
all.
full shrimp redemption arc, and getting inside Gordon Ramsay's crazy Home Chef world. I'm ready to tell all. First, the value isn't just there for most people. Not when you compare the pricing, the
No.
logistic issues, and the fact you're often paying restaurant adjacent prices for food you still have to cook yourself. The turkey meatloaf was fun and the stir fry was great, but then there was the meals that felt pointless, like the flatbread pizza. If you're gonna get pizza, just order a pizza. If you're gonna spend time making burgers, you might as
I feel like if the pizza had more like sophistication, it would have made sense. But even then, you could still order a bunch of toppings on pizzas now, obviously. But like, I feel like if the pizza was truly unique, like, what if they gave you a margarita pizza? You can't just go to Domino's and just be like, give me margarita. Like, you might be able to do that. But like, if they gave you like, okay, give me like a margarita pizza with like this, this, and this, like, maybe But like that looked the meatballs look good though.
As well, buy the ingredients yourself and spend a fraction of the cost.
There are some pizzas that if they were sophisticated, I'd rather have
some of those were
like,
actually my favorite, but they
else.
still felt like a waste because there's zero advantage to making that specific meal through a kit. I think the only real silver lining, the only consistently strong part of this whole thing is how meal kits push you to try something new. I like being
Actually, yes, I agree. I'm gonna let him finish, but I agree.
My normal routine. Cooking things I'd never typically make was a blast, and I get why some people enjoy that part of meal kits. Did I become a better cook? Maybe a little. Was it because of Gordon Ramsay?
Food cards,
absolutely not.
Yeah,
it was because
you're
I spent
paying
a
for
month
recipes,
cooking real recipes instead of staying in my comfort zone. I can't remember the last time I followed a recipe before this. When I cook, I normally just cook my staple meals. I don't try too many different things. So in that sense, yeah, I actually did enjoy the experience. So here it is. No, Gordon Ramsay's
Can I pre-guide the raid? Who do you want me to grade?
Chef meals aren't a scam, but for most people, they're probably just not worth the money.
Who would you like me to rate?
Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed me losing my mind for a month.
Okay, so I will say with the pre-made meals, okay. So with the pre-made meals, I will say that I've tried a lot of new things because of it. I have tried a lot of new things. Seriously. So like that's one thing that I think is nice, I guess, is like you get out of your comfort zone just automatically. So that's one thing I like about it is like I've tried a lot of new things. I feel like I have improved a little bit with my cooking and just like general knowledge of like, oh, this spice works with this sauce works with this. Like, oh, I could use like cream cheese as a nice like add-in, blah blah blah. Like I feel like I've gotten better at improving like how I make sauces. But yeah, it's expensive. Like I had it going for about over a year now, and I am definitely debating on stopping it when next year starts. It's expensive. So it's a luxury. I mean, like if I knew some of these recipes ahead of time, I know I can just look up recipes online for free, but it is kind of nice to have like a nice opportunity to get out of your comfort zone and do some like cool things. I'll send you a recipe from the Maid Cafe if you sleep. So anyway, that's it. That's it for this react. It was a long one, but it was fun watching all the different meals getting made from the meal kits. Thanks everyone for watching. If you would be so kind as to check out my the rest of my reaction videos, feel free, or you can go to my main YouTube channel at auto_Kailani. And also I'm live streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/autowill. So thanks everybody. Bye YouTube. Bye.